Resistance 3, Superhuman Difficulty walkthrough. This is Chapter 3, Paradise Lost. So this chapter starts almost immediately after Chapter 2 ends. You have a little short cutscene and then you go right into this thing. You may or may not take damage during that section when you're running. So it's pretty much for this first section. You just need to sprint, and any damage you might have taken, there's at least that first health pack, and then I think there's one other one as you get farther into this first section. Coming into this area, this is the first point you counter the, I think it's the steelheads, and they have the auger, which is probably one of the coolest weapons. But for this first section, I actually got through this area a lot easier than I thought I was going to. But really you just need to utilize the tag with the bullseye, and you can very quickly just take out all these guys. I think by this I think even through my first run of the game, the bullseye was mainly my primary gun through most of it. So before, like halfway through, I think my first playthrough, I had leveled up the bullseye to, I think, the maximum level, which is, I think it's level 3. So it can destroy some of these Chimera in like half a clip of bullets. So, but once you get the auger, it's very easy to, just run up to this rock that I'm at. The one thing is that when you're shooting through an object, it's kind of hard to hit Chimera that are running, just because you I think you need to like slightly lead your shots if they're running. I haven't completely perfected whether or not that works or not, but I have noticed occasionally I've hit a Chimera that's been running and I've been shooting slightly ahead of where he would be running to. So that may or may not work. It may take timing on your part on how well of a shot you are. So so get in here, any ammo you need, any health you need. One other thing I did, in the options menu, you can set the weapon wheel when you quick select with tapping triangle. By default, it's whichever two weapons you switched between, those are the two that you quick select. If you turn the option on, you can, by tapping triangle, you just cycle through all the weapons. I have it set so that when I tap triangle, I circle through all the weapons, but I might change it back to, like, I have the auger now, and if I hold triangle and switch to the pistol, tapping, I'll switch just between those two. When you hold down triangle, it pauses the game, so it's not like you're in the middle of battle as you're doing that. So I may or may not change that option. I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna go about that. But for that first section, just using the auger and that building I was in, you can very easily take out that first wave of Chimeran. I think there's one or two of the Chimeran that have the auger with them. I think it's the bigger sized ones have the auger with them. I'm not 100% sure about that. But after you take out that first wave, a second wave comes in from a drop ship. If you time it just right, you can usually get a couple grenades like right by where they land, and it makes this area somewhat easier, especially since by this point you've gotten the hedgehog, which is basically like a proximity mine, except it's like a bunch of needles or spikes that shoot. I forget exactly what. Well, it's like a hedgehog. It's a bunch of spikes, really. For this area, I think that one I'm shooting at has the auger with him, or it was the one that just died. I can't remember which one had it, but just you can very easily use your cover. When you run down here, I ended up dying here, but when you come through here, any grenades you have between the shrapnel and the hedgehog, just spam them in that area, and then just switch to the auger, and you'll get through this section in like 12 seconds. And that's the end of the chapter.